Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Think Wrestling. My name's Tom. This is Talking Wrestling. I will apologise in advance because I'm quite out of breath now because I've been running around all day. Anyway, I'm joined here by Magic Myers, who has just had a match against Steve Valentino, and I want to say that, I mean, literally just like 10 minutes ago. Yeah. So you're all quite tired after that, aren't you?
Just scraped me fresh up off the mat. Yeah. Straight off the canvas, scraped me up. Put me on here.
Fair enough. That sounds about right, to be fair.
Yeah, that is in a nutshell. If
that was one of the most amusing matches I think I've ever witnessed as a fan.
Thank you.
I mean, your character in that, it wasn't. I mean, you started out, it was very much a sort of actually cheering Steve, so I wasn't quite sure what was going on there. Was the idea behind that, because I mean, you last time you were here, you played a bad guy, you know, you played a heel, so you like instantly went and well for the start anyway, just went and just ditched that and just went, come on, Steve.
Yeah. So thought, well, you know, I'm a bad guy and I want them to boo me, and they like to cheer Steve. So if we all cheer Steve, they're then gonna boo me when I beat him up. And when I beat him up, they boo me.
But you didn't beat him up. That's
that
was the big flaw in your plan. Then you didn't actually beat him up.
I thought it out. You know, it didn't quite go to plan. It was like a Wile E. Coyote sort of moment where I had all these ideas in my head and then got my ass whooped. Yeah, pretty much.
To be fair, that is the way most wrestling matches go, isn't it?
Yes.
Got all these ideas, and then it never ever goes
to fruition.
Goes to plan, and then you just end up throwing it out the window, and then you come in with somebody on the spot. Basically, that sums up wrestling in the centre, doesn't it? Nothing goes to plan. You come up with something on the spot. That sums up wrestling.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. So I do want to ask about your character, because you're known as Magic Myers, aren't you?
Yeah.
And I want to know what's actually the inspiration behind the Magic Myers character. It's a pretty unusual character, isn't it? You know, I mean, bear in mind, you don't do any magic, which already
absolutely whatever. I have no magical ability.
So
whatever.
So already your name is meaningless then, isn't it? But what actually was the inspiration behind thinking, you know, let's be Magic and Myers?
It started off as a little in joke. I remember when I started training. It was I've been wrestling 2 and a bit years now.
Yeah. And
I started training, and you know, you train and you work on stuff, and then you have ideas in your head, but I don't know. I didn't really have a direction of what I was so focused on learning to wrestle.
Yeah.
I was sort of like, I don't really know where to go with things, what to do. And then I got, like 3 months in, I got sort of thrust into a battle royal.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, right, okay. And before, it was stood at the curtain, the guy's like, right, I'm going to introduce you.
Yeah.
Who are you? And I was like, Brett Myers. And he was like, are you going with your name? And I was like, oh, no. And it was a joke. My girlfriend actually was talking about it.
Yeah.
So how funny would it be to be Magic Myers? It was a ridiculous in-joke with some of my friends. Magic Myers, because imagine Magic Mike and all these ladies want to see it.
Yeah.
And then Magic Myers, and they get excited, and then this 5'5" ginger comes out. It kills everything. That was the joke. And then when I said, oh, Magic Myers, he sort of laughed and he went, you sound like a 7'2" basketball player. That's brilliant. And I was like, okay. And we ran with it. And I thought, oh, you know, it's the first show.
Yeah.
It's okay. People have gimmick changes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just sort of stuck. And I was like, okay, I'll just run with it. That
is one of the most bizarre backstories to a name I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I mean, that is brilliant. To be fair, I mean, that is again, like you said, it is the complete opposite of what people expect. You know, I mean, it's such a similar name to Magic Mike. They think, you know, and then as you said, this 4 foot.
You'd be surprised how many people just call me
4 foot,
Mike. Think my actual name would be Mike, and I'm like, no, it's not. They're like, oh, it's just because I got it confused with the. I'm like, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but it's not. But yeah, no, I never had this sort of. I think a lot of people come into wrestling, they're like, oh, I want my name to be Chris Flame or like Ivan Blaze or something like magnificent, and I want to be this and I want to be that, and I was like, no, do you know what? I'm me. I want to learn to wrestle. I want to be a wrestler. That's all I wanted to be, and sort of just went from there. Hi guys, all right, hi, hello, go and watch your wrestling. Go and do your things.
I mean, that is definitely. I mean, I think
I used to watch sort of. I was a big fan of Kane.
Oh yeah,
I love The Undertaker. All the people with the big gimmicks that I watched. I just never saw myself as somebody who came out as like the undead or a mask wearing thing. I always thought maybe if I wore a mask, maybe I would be because I'm quite small. I would be a luchador, and then I was like, it's just not something I've ever thought. I thought I want to learn to wrestle. I want to be the best wrestler that I can be. Let's be me while I'm doing that, and it's sort of just gone from there, and it's just become me turned up to 12 and just doing. I think that is the best way to do it because I've got no experience obviously in choosing a wrestling name for obvious reasons, but I think a lot of people put too much pressure on themselves to choose a really flashy name. So I think using an inside joke, like you said, is I think the absolute best way you can do because I mean that came from absolutely nothing, and it's caught on brilliantly. So I think it works much better than going for this sort of thinking I need a really massive name for a massive persona. Especially in the last sort of year, I've prided myself on adaptability.
Yeah,
I think it was a friend of mine that said to me that he was like, it's good. He was like, it's a good thing that I can turn up and I'll do whatever you want me to do. It sounds ridiculous, but it's just like, if you want me to wrestle as a big guy, I will just go out and spinebuster somebody if that's what you want me to do. You want me to do a frog splash or a moonsault or something, I can do that. You want me to be funny, I'll be funny. You want me to be serious, I'll be serious. You want me to be a bad guy and beat people up, you want me to make people cheer, you want me to go out and do half and half, do whatever. I'll just go out and do it. It's that adaptability that I always wanted to be. I didn't want to tunnel myself and come in and go, right, I want to be this. And then somebody goes, oh, can you go out there and wear a pink tutu and do comedy? And I go, oh, wait a minute, I'm a this and I'm a that, and I only do this and I do that, because straight away you're tunneling yourself. You're writing off so much of the wrestling world. For no reason. I think
I think that is the absolute best thing that any wrestler can do is don't set yourself on one particular gimmick so much so that you don't want to do anything else, because not only does it hurt you.
People do, and that's cool, and I've got no issue with that. But I always remember that people that came and you go, oh, masked monster, and he was the big red machine. I was like, he also did a spinner Rooney. I called it a Kane Rooney. I was like, the guy. He's incredible, but he knows that
and he can do what people need him to do.
Don't just go there and go, I'm only this and I'm only doing that, and that's what I want to do. I just came in and went, right, I'm a wrestler.
Basically, tell me what you want me to do. Basically, I think that again, that's the best way to do it, because it means you're not closing yourself off, and you're not restricting yourself in any way, which in wrestling, especially in independent wrestling, is what you need, because you can't. I mean, there are some people who do that, and it works. Credit to them. But I think in the long run, it's better to not be so set on I'm going to be this. It
has opened a lot of doors and opportunities for me. Around sort of the UK, for the pure fact that I've had people message me, and I've had friends of mine that are on, and they go, "Oh, have you got somebody who can do so and so?" I'm like, "Yeah, Brett can do any of it." I go, "Alright, cool. Have you got a small guy who can get squashed in 5 minutes?" I'm like, "Yeah." Hey, yeah, of course I can. Oh, have you got a quick guy who can do 25 minutes? Hey, yeah, if you want me to. I'll do an hour Ironman match, or I'll do a 5 minute where I just get my ass handed to me. I can do any of it. So as soon as anybody goes, oh, have you got somebody who can do this? I'll just go, yeah, that's me. And a lot of my opportunities have come from that, and I show them one thing, and they go, oh, cool. Right, getting your ass whipped for 5 minutes, somebody might turn their nose up and go, oh, I don't want to get squashed in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Why? You go out there and you do a really good job in 5 minutes getting squashed, and somebody goes, hey, he's done a really good job in that 5 minutes. Let's give him 8 minutes next time. 8 minutes you do really well, and then from there on you pick up little bits and you keep going. Everybody wants to be Shawn Michaels' WrestleMania main event every single match.
Yeah, and that just isn't how it works at all.
Just go out and give 110% of what somebody wants from you.
Yeah,
and you'll be alright.
Yeah, I think that is the best way to do it, because if you're so set on with one thing, then not only does it affect you, but it hurts the show as well. Because if you're so reluctant,
have to work around you. Yeah, and if there's other people doing other stuff, you got to change you got to be a 10.
You've got to be flexible based on what people need.
You have to
adapt. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, you have to adapt. If somebody's doing your stick and they're on 3 matches before you, you can't go out there and do it again.
Exactly. Yeah, I think adaptability is the one thing above all else in wrestling that it's not an absolute necessity, but if you can do it, then it then it instantly boosts your cred, I guess. You know what I mean. I didn't quite find the right word for it, but it makes you a much more appealing person to work with if you're willing to do what people need to do, especially as it makes. It makes it easier to work with, though, doesn't it? It makes it much easier to work with. So you mentioned that you've been wrestling now. What was it? 2 years? You said
2 and a bit.
2 and a bit years. So what I want. So right. Let's go right back to your first to your first sort of moment in wrestling, and so is there a particular moment, basically, that over your 2 years of doing this, that instantly comes to mind as something that has been really memorable for you? Sorry.
Oh, so many.
I know.
A lot.
I do ask the difficult questions.
Yeah, a lot. I think I've got a friend, Matt Ward. He goes by the name of Lex Buffington.
Oh, I know him. Yeah.
Matt.
I'll say no. I've heard of him.
He's unbelievable. He's an incredible guy. But I remember it was probably my second, maybe, real match. It was a tag match. And it was a 3-on-2.
Yeah.
And it was me and Matt. He was doing a gimmick called El Pasty. It was like a joke luchador.
Yeah.
It was amazing. He's so good. Against 3 other guys. Matt Waters, Matt Hox, he worked as H-Block, and a guy called Will Wild, and I worked it, and I can remember I was really nervous. My gear was an old pair of tights that Robby X had handed me down. I had short hair, I was a little bit overweight, and I was just like, right, just literally starting out, and we were trying to plan the match, and I'd never really done this sort of stuff before, and I was like, all right, we're going through it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I don't really know, and I just said to Matt, like, what advice have you got for me? And he just turned around to me and he said, do the basic stuff really well, rather than the flashy stuff really badly.
Yeah.
And I think from then on, I literally went in that match and I barely did anything. And I finished and I was like, how was that? Like, Matt, how was that, guys? And asked my trainer, Hayden, how was that? He turned around and he said, it was really crisp, really solid. I was like, cool, that's because all I'd done was just the stuff that I knew.
Yeah.
I didn't go in there and do anything stupid. I just went and did the stuff I knew. But it's just the advice from him that I just sort of went, right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I've just gone and I do the stuff that I know I can do, and I learn different things, and I learn different techniques, and I train with people. I've done seminar with Kirby today, and I've learned so much stuff already. And I sort of take it in and I do it, and just grow from there. But that moment for me was sort of like,
essentially a defining moment.
I think it so early on for somebody to sort of sit me down and just go, right, don't do anything stupid, basically. And I was like, because you go in and you go, oh, I can do like a flip, I can do a moonsault, I can do this and I can do that. And he was like, yeah, but does it make sense? Can you do it crisp? Is it going to look good, or is it going to look like you're just tackily putting stuff together?
Yeah.
Go in there, arm drag, hip toss, elbow drop.
Yeah.
And I remember just hitting this sort of stuff, and I was like, that felt good. Bang, this little pop from the crowd, and I was like, oh.
That was good.
Yeah, I was like, it's just that little pop that I was like, oh. I haven't really done any stupid stuff, but they liked it.
Yeah.
And if they liked it, then I'm doing it
Then
right.
you're doing something
so
right, yeah.
It doesn't matter. And then from then on, I sort of, don't get me wrong, if you've seen some of my matches, I do some ridiculous things.
Yeah.
If I feel that it's necessary.
Yeah.
But from then, sort of, I just went on this sort of, I don't know, path of getting it in my mind that
flashy isn't always the best way to go. Essentially,
yeah, like learn to do it. But I just went on this path of I think he just nipped it straight in the bud of just keeping me humble to sort of like. I think if you ask anyone that hopefully said that people will tell you that I'm humble. I feel blessed to ever have this opportunity to do anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like Mark now. I saw Martin earlier. It's the first time I've actually met him. I've watched him. I was like, hey Martin, nice to meet you. And I was really excited just to work a little bit with him, which is cool. But I know there's a lot of people out there, and I am friends with some of them and whatever, and they do go around, and I mean it's cool, and they're like, oh, I'm a wrestler, I belong here, blah blah blah. Yeah. And I like to think that I do. Yeah. But there's a little bit of me that still walks around like, oh my god, I'm so lucky. Like, this is the best
I think that's the absolute. I mean, I think that's the best mindset for this business that you can have, because I think one of the worst things you can do is think that you are instantly above everyone because you're a wrestler.
I'd never want to ever believe my own hype, which is I have confidence in myself of my ability and what I can do, but I'd never want to believe my own hype. I never ever want to be that guy that's like, oh.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
I'm this and I can do that. And I'm this and blah 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 whatever, and I belong here and this. Oh, I know I've seen you on WWE TV, but I'm a worker, blah, blah. I'm like, no, this guy's cool, and wow, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, like, meeting him's really cool. Huh? Yeah, it's a cool thing for me. I just like to keep it
grounded.
Yeah,
basically,
absolutely,
yeah. I mean, the one thing that I've learned in this is, obviously, I can't speak on behalf of every person in wrestling, but most people. You can't really get into this business if you're not a fan of it in the first place. It's not a business which you can think, I'll get into that because I need money that pays well. I don't think anyone has ever.
It's good for my body. No, you come in as a fan, and I do feel like sometimes a lot of people lose it.
Yeah.
And people who go, oh, he's a mark, he's this, he's that. I'm a fan, mate. I watch it. I watch the product. I like the product. I like these things. I take inspiration from different stuff. But you know what I mean? I've
never quite understood why being a mark is such a bad thing. I mean, it's just basically being a fan. Why is that? I mean, if someone says to me, "Oh, Tommy's such a mark," I go, "Yes, I know I am. Thank you for recognizing that. I am a fan of this." I don't quite know why it's such a bad thing, but I don't know. I think it's with the age of internet and kayfabe dying that people seem to think that if you're a fan of it and you don't know the ins and outs of it, then then it's a bad thing. Like, no, that's a good thing.
I remember that was one of a big moment for me.
Yeah.
With that, I've had a lot. I've had a lot of opportunities. I train at Fight Factory, and the opportunities they gave me from I was gonna say a young age. That's such a lie. from an early start in my career, I was gonna say a young age because I'm not. I'm 30 now. From an early start in my career.
When does Zach say it for 30 is old?
No, compared to some people. But I mean, I got a lot of opportunities to work with Robby X. Pick Rob's brain. Me and Rob are good friends now. I messaged Rob, pick Rob's brain for stuff. Rob's like 23, 24, and I'm just like, oh my god, Rob's great. And everyone's like, oh, you're older than Rob. I'm like, who cares? Rob's been there for God knows how long, and he's done all this. I had the opportunity to wrestle Rob. I've wrestled Kip Sabian a few times. Styx, Joe Connors. Like, the opportunities that I've had that Fight Factory given me is absolutely incredible, and I'd say that's not a defining moment, but I can't sit here and say that if maybe if I'd have gone somewhere else or done something else, I'd have had those opportunities. They had the faith in me and put it in me. Yeah. And I hope I repaid that by working as hard as possible.
Well, I mean, one of the first things I instantly noticed about you is you're a very down to earth and humble person, and in this. And I mean, you don't go around thinking thinking you're above anyone. And in this sort of And I mean, that's going to work out really well for you, you know, because if you're a nice person to be around backstage, then you know, then it's going to translate well in the ring. You know, if people enjoy talking to you backstage, then you're going to get on with them well, and the chemistry is going to be there in the ring as well.
I've just never understood the idea of the person who's sat on merch, the man who's doing the doors, the fan who sat on the fourth row with a beer. They're as important to me as the guy the guy who's in the main event and shaking hands and hanging out with the boys or whatever. I've never. I'd like to try and get on with everyone and whatever, but like I said, I'll talk to anyone. I'll meet anyone. I'll shake everyone's hand. I'll say hello to everyone. I want to know how people are, and I try and pride myself on remembering people as well, because you know, people go, oh, hi, and I go, hey mate, you're all right. How's your knee? It was bad last time. And they go, oh, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Because it's important to me, and I always get it. It always makes me laugh when I see people. Oh, hey Brett, you're all right. I've got to go and do some stuff soon.
That's fine, yeah.
But I went there. I wrestled Sheffield on Saturday. So many people come up, oh, Brett, you've grown a beard now and you've got long hair. Like, it's crazy. And I was like, I really appreciate the fact that you even remembered or realised that it's just nice.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Now I say this because I am dreadful with names and faces. You know, like I'm sure there's people at shows that I've seen 3 times, and every time I see him, I act like I've never met them before in my life because I'm just that bad with names. So that really didn't sound very good, does it? So
I've had people who I've met like 9 times, and every single time they introduce themselves to me again, and I'm like, I know, bro, I've met you like 8 times before.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm like, it's cool. It's fine to me.
Yeah.
We've done this a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as long as people can be understanding that not everyone's got the best memory.
You meet so many people in wrestling that you just come to one show, you're just like, I've met 35 new people today.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll try and take it all in.
If I've met people enough times, then then I will remember them. But if I've only met them say twice or 3 times in a year, and it's spaced out on the spot, then I will forget them instantly. Not because I'm being rude, just because I've got the worst fucking memory.
Goldfish.
Well, yes, pretty much. Well, not quite that, not that good. But
anything else you want to know or anything?
Actually, yeah. So you've been wrestling for, what was it, 2 years now? 2.5 years, don't get it right.
Like
I want to know. So in that time, you obviously faced quite a few different people, and worked. I'm going to guess quite a few different types of types, haven't you? So, but in that time, is there any one particular person who stands out to you that you think you worked really well with, whether it be in a triple threat, tag match, anything? Just one person who really stands out to you that you think you worked really well with, and in the future you'd like the opportunity to work with them again at some point.
Oh, Sticks, it's got to be.
Oh, that you would not believe how many people I ask and they go, oh my god, there's such a difficult question, and you're there with him instantly.
Yeah, honestly, I've worked some. Rob's incredible. I've worked with Rob loads, but any given time, give me him. Kip, crazy. Joe was amazing. Everybody I work has so much ability and so many assets that I'd wrestle anyone again. I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
I just like wrestling. I just want to wrestle. I'm not bothered. But Sticks, I wrestled him at the engine shed in Lincoln. I can't remember how long it was ago. Maybe like 6 months, something like that. And that match just felt like an accumulation of everything that I'd done in the time I'd been wrestling.
Yeah.
Came together, and he managed to bring it out of me.
Yeah.
It was like, I just don't know how to describe it. There was like a heel turn to a face turn. There was stuff in there, and there was technical, high flying, other bits, but it all made sense. It was all put together. The story was told, and I felt like it was the best I'd ever wrestled.
Yeah.
And he sort of brought it out of me.
Yeah.
And after I finished that match, I went back to the curtain. I remember a few people were just like, that was special. That was like, wow, that's the best I've ever seen you wrestle. That really was something. And I was just like, wow. Like, it felt like something. I was just like, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's like probably 90%, 95% Sticks, like 5% me. I was there for the. It does feel, when you wrestle him, he does feel a bit like you're there for the ride. He's that good.
Yeah.
That he just sort of like it's like a roller coaster. You're like, oh my god, I'm holding on and I'm doing stuff, but Jesus, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, it's done. So I want to do it again. Yeah.
So my guess then is that match was basically how do I put this? It was basically you letting him do most of the heavy lifting in that. I want to say most of the work, and then you latching on to what you could do, to make the match work. Is that a sort of accurate-ish analogy of that, or am I completely off the mark?
He's obviously a big guy, and
yeah.
obviously he's got his big moves. I think there was like a spin out powerbomb that was really good and stuff. I'm a smaller guy, so I do get sort of thrown around a little bit. But I think the story that was told in it, that like I said, I turned from sort of arrogant heel to never say die babyface throughout it, and that it took real effort and timing and to get it right. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't like the stigma. I always get that sort of stigma that I hate. That people go, oh, he's short, he wears kick pads, he must do flips and stuff. I don't know if you've never seen me train. I've always said I'm the world's worst cruiserweight. I've said it a million times. The world's crappiest cruiserweight. Yeah. Just like, oh, can you do a standing moonsault? I'm like, hell no. God, no. Can you do this? Can you do that? No. Rob can. No. I've got a mean clothesline and a decent spine buster. I can do stuff. I can do some fancy spinny stuff. Some fancy flippy I can
shit.
Do stuff quick, and I can flip around and stuff. Yeah. But if you're looking for a real, genuine cruiserweight, I'll do what I've got. I've never.
But my guess then is that you're not someone who considers themselves above all else a cruiserweight, basically. You know, some of these things I mean,
I've done a couple of cruiserweight tournaments and a few things billed as a cruiserweight, and I was a junior heavyweight champion. But I never sit and go, I'm a cruiserweight. It's just the size that people go, right, I want to see him do a flip. I want to see him do this. And I use a frog splash. I do things like that, which is cool, and I like them. I can do them. I learned to. I spent time learning to wrestle. I was taught to technically wrestle, to do the sort of. To do the bumps, to do the shoulder tackles, to do things like that. And I think a lot of people get surprised when they wrestle me. They go, oh, actually, like grounding wrestling and other things. And the stuff that, the bits in between, all of the stuff is what I pride myself on. Yeah. And then, like I said, if I do like a tornado DDT, it's cool. Yeah. But you can teach anybody to do moves. Yeah. I always prided myself on putting them together and the bits that go in between it to tell that story.
Yeah, I do get that. I mean, obviously no experience in the ring whatsoever for me, but it's...
I just grew up watching people. I like Jeff Hardy, I was just never a big Jeff Hardy.
My laugh me on heart.
I never really liked Jeff Hardy that much, though, in the sense of... I liked him. Yeah. But I always wanted to watch, like, Stone Cold Rock.
Yeah, I get
people,
that, yeah.
Like Jericho and stuff like that. And Jericho had the Lion Salt. Bar that, none of them did any of that sort of stuff. Yeah. That was just pure storytelling to bring you in. Yeah. And I sort of just came into it like, that's what I like. Yeah. I like to tell a story to people and people to be engaged rather than just 6 million moves, put it together and hope somebody sits there and goes, this is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my best guess would be that it's one thing learning how to do the moves properly, and in some ways trying to string them together, but it's a different thing entirely using that in the storyline itself.
I have had people before that I have wrestled and they're like, oh, I can do a Phoenix Splash, or I can do a 450, or I can do this, and I'm like, yeah, cool, I can, I've probably got a Phoenix in the locker and a moonsault, and I've got a Swanton bomb and whatever. I'm like, right, but how are we getting there? What do you mean? I'm like, we're literally, the bell's gone and we're in different corners. Do you want me to lay down so you can do a Phoenix Splash? Yeah. How are we getting there? Oh, we'll do some tech and do some in some out. Oh, I can only really do a wrist lock and something else. That's cool, brother. Like, don't. I'm not shitting on you. That's cool. Yeah. Like, if that's the level your tech's at, that's wicked. But I need to get you from here to where you want to be. Yeah. And if I'm going to have to string it all together, that's cool. But this is what I've learned. This is why I'm like, right, I'll take you all the way there. Then you can do your stuff. Yeah. Because it seems pointless to me that somebody's like, oh, I want to do this move, and I'm like, okay, how are we getting there? Oh.
can you just lie down and hope? Like,
Yeah. Well, all right, I'll take us there, and then you can do your stuff.
Yeah, I think that mentality is one of the best things you can have. Not just thinking about about maybe the final two minutes, whenever things are starting to close up, but the entire thing and the story of how the entire match works. That's such a, I mean, I'd imagine that's quite a challenging thing to take into consideration.
I think brain work. I've always said that wrestling's like 90% brain work.
Yeah.
10% physicality. You being physical and looking like a physical specimen's good.
Yeah.
People believe in you then.
Yeah.
That's great. I've always said
But
that. I like people who keep themselves in shape.
If you don't know how to string moves together, it's going to... Yeah.
If you don't make any sense, you're just a man doing moves. You are just that creator wrestler on 2K19 or whatever. Just doing moves. And you need to be... I mean, I told you I've just done the seminar with Martin.
Yeah.
And Kirby did... I can't remember what show it was on. It was not long ago. And he had some guy in like a front face lock, and he cut a promo saying he was going to do the best super duper finishing move in the history of the world, and it was going to be the best thing that anybody's ever seen.
Yeah.
He dropped the mic and got rolled up. And honestly, the pop was insane.
Yeah, I mean,
Nobody's
that's such a simple thing as well, isn't it?
Nobody's done like a super duper flippy to the outside.
Yeah, it's
and
just a
died
roll
and
up.
had to work hard to get there. Front face lock, promo, out, rolled up, done.
I mean, that is just brilliant. I mean, that has got to be one of the most satisfying ends to a storyline.
Go and find the video. It's brilliant.
I mean, that does sound like the ending wise to match. That does sound like in terms of, again, storytelling. That does sound like the best thing. I mean, it's such a simple ending as well, isn't it?
It's brilliant.
But it's such a brilliant concept of an ending. So I will ask you one more thing before you head off. This I hope it's quite an easy one. It depends on your memory though. What is your first ever memory of wrestling? And this, I don't mean being a fan. And before you ever made the transition from fan into wrestling, what was the first thing you ever remember about it?
For some reason, I can...
not what got you into it. Just
generally, what's the first thing I can remember?
This could come out 10 years ago, couldn't it? So...
it was a long time ago. We're talking like probably... Oh, Jesus. Must have been like 20 years ago, maybe.
God, blimey.
I remember my friend who lived down the road, Dan Brighton, he lived down the road from me. He was a wrestling fan. His mum and dad had Sky, my family didn't. And I used to go and watch Raw at his house on Sky. And I can just remember, for some reason, Jericho's debut.
Yeah.
And him facing Road Dogg and putting him through the table with the double powerbomb.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I thought, oh my God, here's a guy in tights with long hair who's going to do flippy dippies and do whatever. And he just... deadlift powerbombed Road Dogg through the table. I was like, this guy's absolutely... he's my favourite wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's awesome. This is wicked. And I think it's just the first thing I sort of remember was that sort of... It's a hazy sort of time. And I remember just going around and watching Raw at his.
I think that I was just saying, I mean, you say it's hazy, but that sounded like a pretty decent description to me.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the match back, but I remember the finish was the double powerbomb and the second one was through the table. And I just remember his sort of... Raw is Jericho promo when he had his big promo, big ponytail, and like the silver thing. I must have been, I can't remember what year it was. I must have been like 10 or something like that.
So going back,
that's sort of what I remember.
God, that's going back some time then, because you said you're 30 now years old, so
I am.
That is going back quite some time, isn't it?
That's the first thing I can remember.
God, blimey. So thank you very much for joining me. I don't want to keep you for much longer because I know that you've got to say.
I'm going to go and try and whoop somebody's ass, but
that sounds like a pretty decent plan.
Yeah, of course. So I will be back.
Goodbye. So, if you want to follow Magic Myers, then there'll be a title card on screen around where he was sitting right now. My links will be in the description down below as well. I'll see you in a bit. Peace out.